Nearly 1.2 million mortgages are up for renewal, but an increasing number of homeowners are looking to downsize as they anticipate higher payments in the road ahead.
They're looking to downsize the snow in front of their house as well. So for a look at the latest data from Royal LePage, the CEO, Phil Soper, joins us this morning. Phil, good to see you this morning.
Great to be here.
Nice to see that snow going away as the city works on clearing it up here. But a lot of people are trying to sort of clear their finances, working on the ledger, the accounts receivable and payable. How can people actually try to shrink their mortgages in this environment right now?
Well, if you're looking at first-time home buyers, we got some really significant relief in December, the ability to stretch the amortization period out to 30 years. That made a big difference. And they're able to get insured mortgages now for, call it more typical GTA home prices, bumped it up by 50%, and that allows you to get a lower interest rate when there's mortgage insurance in place. For people who are renewing their existing mortgage, it's, again, you can stretch your payments out over a longer period of time. You can take, depending on the lender, you can take some more risk in terms of potentially taking a variable rate mortgage if that's lower, where the risk moves from the from the lender to you on the whether rates go up in the future. And of course, we're in a falling interest rate environment, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, falling interest rate environment, but a lot of uptick in uncertainty with this ongoing U.S. tariff threat and what's to come and how that could influence inflation. So, Phil, a lot of people that are, set to renew their mortgages, when they signed up initially, they were paying like under 1%. It was super low, and now it's expected to be higher. But if they do go to variable, which interest rates are falling, how will that, are they sitting on the bench waiting to see what happens with, Donald Trump and these tariffs?
Yeah,
President
I mean,
Donald
there's
Trump?
two scenarios that could play out with the Trump tariffs. One is they raise prices, and you know how you combat prices, you raise interest rates, right? We saw that during the pandemic. But I think the more likely scenario is it's essentially an attack on the economy. It's like COVID-19 in a different format.
Exactly.
And so the Bank of Canada wants to shore up households, shore up businesses, so they actually lower rates. It may accelerate the rate at which rates are coming down.
It's interesting, because yesterday we heard that the U.S. Fed may even go to moving its rates up instead of down, but the Bank of Canada has signaled, Phil, that interest rates in Canada could come down, just like you said, to try to sort of bolster and strengthen the economy here. It creates an interesting conundrum for home buyers as well, too, because do you wait and wait and wait to see where the rates maybe go, or do you try to get in now and then, like you said, maybe go to variable?
Well, and for first-time home buyers, particularly, the waiting game has worked for them because home prices haven't gone anywhere.
That's true.
Right? They've been 2.5 years flat, and every 5-6 weeks they get a discount because people don't buy homes based on their sticker price; they buy them based on monthly carrying costs. Call that rent equivalence. Now, if prices start edging up again, that can erase the benefit of waiting. So it's been a game, particularly in the condo sector in the GTA, it's worked very well for first-time home buyers to wait. But people don't want to wait too long. We've got a lot of pent-up demand and a lot of humans looking for housing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Phil, we have a provincial election coming up in 1 week. And look, a lot of the focus is on the economy and housing. And we've always talked about how there needs to be more supply. And we hear the government, from all levels talking about how they can get more houses and, rental units up. But as a person in real estate, what do you think needs to happen for that red tape to be cut? How do we get more homes out there?
Well, there are certain things that policymakers can do, like municipal, provincial, federal governments, and certain things beyond their control. So inflation will impact, or tariffs, I should say, will impact new home building costs, because a lot of the hardware that goes into a house comes from abroad. Lumber and sort of basic framing comes from Canada, but that other stuff is, if there are tariffs, it's going to go up in price. So it's some things out of their control, but cutting regulations, as you say, it is probably the biggest thing. The longer it takes for a builder to go from idea to handing the keys over and getting paid, the more risk there is, and the less likely they are to take a risk and build more.
The incentive just isn't there. Okay, Phil, appreciate you coming in and talking with us this morning. Thanks so much.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
All right, take care,
Phil. Welcome.